The function of leadership is to produce more leaders, not more followers. Welcome to the Paid Forward Society, where we believe that leadership is a continuous learning journey and where knowledge is passed on to the next generation of leaders. I'm Roman Jordan. I've been learning and practicing management of global teams for about 10 years. In this podcast, we will explore the many facets of leadership as we talk to inspiring managers, entrepreneurs, coaches, veterans, and athletes who empower their teams and deliver results. Together, we will discover the keys to success through empathy, purpose, and care. So join me as we embark on this journey to become better leaders and create a better world. All right, so now we are recording, Franco.
Wow.
We are live. So, hey, how are you?
Fine, and you?
Yeah, good. So this is a sunny San Francisco today.
Luckily,
Yeah,
no
luckily.
fog.
Yeah, I mean it was foggy one hour ago, but I think we're good now.
Okay.
All right. So thank you for joining me on this episode of the Paid Forward Society.
Thank you, Roman, to invite me.
Yeah, I mean we have never worked together.
No.
And so I think this is the second episode. You are the second guest that I am interviewing that I've never worked with, but we are friends. We know each other, and I was interested to learn more about you. Mm-hmm. And there are a few things that are of interest for me. The first is that you have been working for almost 20 years in the same company. This is pretty rare now. So there must be something very interesting about what you do or how the company works that make you stay, and I want to learn more about that. So the company is Decathlon, so very well known in France, in Europe, and expanding to many countries. Mm-hmm. You are in the US. You are even the chief operating officer.
Exactly.
In the US. For a few weeks now. I mean, or at least you will stay for a couple of weeks and then you go back to Europe.
Exactly.
Normally.
No.
If everything works. But that's
normally
the plan.
should.
Yeah. Otherwise your wife would be maybe a bit upset. Okay, so you studied in Italy because you are Italian. You are from Milano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Close to Milano.
Close to Milano. And then you went to Lille in the north of France, which is the headquarters of Decathlon and the huge Mulliez group, which is so Mulliez is a French, how do we say that?
Family?
Yeah, family. Mm-hmm. It's a big family. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they own different type of business.
Exactly.
And Decathlon is one of the big family.
Yeah,
exactly. And a huge one.
You study a lot.
No, I don't do that. I know it's general knowledge for French people, but I want to explain that to other people. And then you moved to China. Mm-hmm. 7 years?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah, there is something wrong about your LinkedIn. I wanted to tell you that.
I have to check it.
Because you have an overlap between China and the US.
Oh, so I have to check. Something happens.
Yeah, because you said that you were until 2021 in China, which is not right.
No, it's not right. It's 2019.
Yeah, okay. So you need to fix that, please.
I will do right now.
Thank you. So yeah, you have been in the US for 4 years now, and you are, as I said earlier, the COO of Decathlon US.
Exactly.
So yeah, this podcast is about leadership and how to inspire people to do greater things, and I've read about Decathlon for a while now. I know that there are many things happening there, so I want to understand what you did and what helped you to stay 20 years, almost 20 years in the same company. And again, I mean, it's different because you are actually the first guest that I'm interviewing who is not in tech, who is not working in tech. Decathlon is a retail company. Mm-hmm. So I will introduce Decathlon, please. I mean, I know that you have your pitch. Yes.
Okay, but you explained a lot already about Decathlon. So Decathlon is a French company, but is founded in 1976. exactly when I was born.
Oh.
Yeah, so there is something that it was already a magic potion. You're right, it's more than 20 years. It's 22 years that I work for the company. So I start in 2000. So roughly you will arrive to 23 years in the company. Decathlon is a French company, as you explained, expanding in many, many countries today, almost 60 countries. We open in a different ways.
60.
60, yeah. So, but the headquarter is French, so we are a French company owned by today the family, the Moulier family. So we are one of the retailer and the brands of the Moulier family that is owning also, as you said, Auchan, Leroy Merlin. The headquarter is in Villeneuve-d'Ascq. Okay, so in the north, where I spent some times of my life, and I'm coming back to this nice place. So, as you say, 60 countries. We are, first of all, we are known as a retailer, but we are not a retailer first. We are a manufacturer. Yeah. So we conceive the product, and well, this is one of the reasons why. I am with Decathlon since 22 years because is the purpose of this company that is make me proud to work for. That is try to make the sports accessible to the many and to try to develop the wonders of sports. So, as a mission that we have, it's something that is it's the reason why each morning I wake up and go to work. And this is why, since 22 years, as I say to my wife many times, I'm not selling balloon, as sometimes she told me. No, we are trying to.
She told me that.
No, it's absolutely not. We try to really move the people to make sports, because the sports means a lot of things for me, but also for the people. So yeah, this is a little bit. So we are a manufacturer. We have today in-house brand. But I think that you know some, Quechua, Tribord, the famous one. I work for one in particular, Kipster, in my career.
It's the running. Kipster,
no, it's team sport.
Team sports.
Yeah, me, I'm passionate by two sports, two different sports. One the ski, the other one is volleyball. Because as Italian guy, I was so bad in football and soccer. Sorry, not in English soccer. So I prefer to do volleyball. It was better for me.
It's better for France as well.
Well, we don't speak about soccer
okay,
today,
we don't
right?
Speak about football. Let's say football.
Yeah, let's say football. Okay. So this is. I already tell you a little bit why I'm with Decathlon for a while, and then for many reasons that we can discuss after. But okay, so Decathlon 60 countries, around 35 production countries. We are a vertical brand, completely integrated. So yes, we are not tech, but we have a lot of technology inside that we develop. So we have all the jobs that you can imagine we have inside Decathlon. So I don't know if you know how many we are today. You read a lot of information.
I read 75K, but I don't know when it was, because it's
a long time ago. Okay. Today we are more than 100,000.
Wow.
So more than 100,000 from production to supply to retail and so on. And so this is another reason why it's incredible to work for this company. You can discover a different part of the company, move from one business unit to the other one, and then I travel as I did.
Yeah.
So it's my fourth different countries, third continent.
Yeah. Wow. So you don't know that about me, but Decathlon was a customer of us in my previous life.
Oh, really?
Yes, in my previous life. So I knew a bit of Decathlon through that. I mean, from on the tech angle, because my former company was a supplier of Decathlon, big one. So and we were partnering with Decathlon to support your expansion. Your global expansion. So at that time, if I remember correctly, you had a a goal of expanding to it was a crazy number, like 2,000 stores that you wanted to open in few years. And
so, we are above.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, we passed this number now. So
wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, cool.
So maybe you don't know, but we are today the first worldwide retailer in sport.
Wow, no, I didn't know that.
As the first worldwide retailer, and we are the third brand. So just behind Nike and Adidas.
Wow.
Yeah. So sometimes we don't know something, but we don't want to promote a lot or to make a lot of noise.
No, that's amazing. I didn't know about that. I mean, in terms of your internal brands, I mean, the brands that you develop, because I mean, you are also reselling other vendors, other brands, or at least
small parts, just in few area of the world. It depends if we complete the offer, because in Decathlon our idea is to have more than 80 sports under the same roof, and to try to provide from the beginner till the top of the range for all the sports. So the idea, if you want to do soccer, you can find everything. When we don't arrive to for the moment, or we decided to not develop some kind of products, we decided to partner with some other brands, and so we get it inside. So, but it's not everywhere. So here in the US is not the case. Yeah. So we are focused on our own brands. On other part of the world, we are completely what we call 100% passion brands. That is our internal way to call it. So.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's introduce. Please introduce yourself. Who are you? Because we talked about Decathlon, but I forgot to ask you first. Who are you? Who are you, Franco?
I am Franco.
Yeah,
and you told already. I come from Italy, so I'm 46, 7 almost years old.
We don't say that.
We don't say it. No, I'm not shy. I can say it. I was born close to Milano, and I lived there and for almost 30 years. Then moved international. Even Italian guy, I'm not so inclined to go far from mama. Okay, sometimes we say it. It's true. I didn't want to move. Well, I left. To go for work, okay, for Decathlon, to follow my dream to explore different way. So passionate about sport. I was skier at the beginning. So my dream was to live in the mountain, to teach ski to kids and so on. I tried to pursue this dream. But after different decision, bring me to do volleyball, where I play till the second division in Italy. So again, continue to work. But I am passionate about plenty of sport. But as I told you, don't ask me to do soccer. It's not absolutely the one that I do. And then, I joined Decathlon. I joined Decathlon not because I want, because my father obliged me.
Oh,
yeah. So it's
how so?
It's true. So I didn't absolutely want to work. I want to continue to play, and I was studying engineer. And at the end of my courses of learning, well, my father said, "Well, he's opening a store close to us. Why do you don't work a few hours? You start to go out, okay?" Yeah. I said, no. Okay, so I didn't know, but my mama realized the curriculum. He brought the curriculum to the stores that was opening, and they started my life in Decathlon. So I entered, and I never went out. Well, so as you know, I am married with a French girl, and I have 2 kids, so Gabriel and Luca.
Yeah.
And we live in San Francisco now.
And you live in San Francisco?
Well, for a few weeks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And so you are an engineer by formation.
Yeah,
okay. Wow.
By formation, yeah. And I decided to work in the commerce. What? So fantastic. Yeah, not a line at all. But it's my life.
Yeah. So what did you study for engineering?
Chemical.
Chemical,
sorry. Yeah.
Good. Okay. So... Okay, we'll discuss about that later on, but That's good. That's a good intro. So let's take a break and talk about sports. Who's going to win tonight between the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors?
So tonight, no one, because it's tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow?
Yeah. It was last night. So Golden State, Golden State won 3-2. So now 3-2 for Lakers, and then let's see. I don't want to reveal my passion for the basketball. It could be risky.
Okay. But we can say the team has some yellow on it.
For sure, yellow is there. I don't say which one.
Okay, so we'll see. I was pretty sure it was tonight, actually.
No, tomorrow.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah,
cool. All right, so let's go back to our topic of leadership. Mm-hmm. So, as I told you, I decided to dive a bit deeper into what Decathlon and how that works. So, and I found that you have great resources on YouTube. There's the Decathlon Learning and Development channel, where they are explaining different things about inclusive leadership and something called management scheme and the performance equation. I don't know whether, I translated that from French because this one was not in. So I don't know whether you spelled that, you said that performance equation, but it's something related to performance.
The magic potion to do business.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the advice process, SMART objectives. So I guess this one is more familiar for everyone. SMART. And I have a talent workshop. You have some kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like this. So, but before we dive into, I want to discuss that. I want to get a better understanding of how that works and what you do. But I'm interested in learning you have been with the company for a while now. I'm interested to understand your journey into leadership. How did it work? And
how it did work. Okay. So, let's say that I start, maybe I didn't tell you at the beginning, but I start as a sales assistant. Okay. Part-time sales assistant. So 20 hours maximum to work. And then the passion from the leadership came from my leader. And many times comes from your leader, your coach, your training. And my first leader inspired me a lot.
So who is he?
Ezio. No, he's Italian. Yeah, he was the store manager. Okay, so the store manager of the store that I opened started to explain me the principle that you just read on. There are a few on YouTube, but there are more in the hidden part of Decathlon. So he started to explain me what it was the leadership, how is a leader recruiting in Decathlon, and we have a philosophy in Decathlon that is let's try, measure, enjoy, and then restart again. So we say more than enjoy, we say had fun. And this is important in all the path that we it's my career. So I always work in this way. And then on the leadership, you learn each day how to do from the field, from the experience, from the life, from all the things that happen you at work around you. So I grew up with Decathlon, okay? So from the experience, and then for what you just said, we have a lot of training. It's a huge, what we call school inside a sort of university in which we have a lot of training each year that we follow in order to progress. Many are internal, many are online, some are external, coaches.
Oh, you get coaches?
Yeah, we have. So we try, but sometimes are internal, sometimes are external. So we continue to progress.
Yeah. Okay. So I have so many questions about coaching, but I will keep them for at the moment. So you had you started in Milan. Your boss was inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
In which way was he?
In a way of thinking, because the first time that I arrived in the store, for me it was okay. I put some products in in merchandising and layout, and then I start to speak with the customer. The first thing that he told me, he say, observe your customer first, and then you take the right decision here locally. I say, what? No, it's a big company. I have to follow, the master, the processes, and say, hey, no. And this is something that he said, wow, it's quite different from what I am thinking. So he was inspired because he was very customer focused, and it's not the case for everyone. So the first one is to observe, and then the first thing that I learned with him, it was don't do it. Or don't ask to someone to do something, but ask him or explain him the why you have to do something. And so this is something that I continue to do. It's a sort of recipe that I continue to apply in my life. And to be honest, it works.
So what is the recipe? Is it, is it asking why you are doing things?
No, explain the why you have to do. Yeah, not you have to do, the why you want to go in some direction. So most of the time we can say to a person, okay, you have to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what you have to do.
Okay. So not giving orders,
absolutely,
but giving the direction,
give the direction, give the vision,
goal, the vision. Yeah.
And then let the people express themselves.
Okay.
So it was very inspiring. And then during my life, I continue to have other people, other leadership, and I try to get the maximum of the good points. And the other one, let's say the bad points, on the side.
Do you know Simon Sinek?
Simon Sinek, no.
He's an author, British American author. He became successful or very famous in 2013 ish when he did a TED talk about start with why, and how great leaders inspire others by explaining the why and being super specific about the why. And because many people tend to communicate through the what and potentially the how, but very few with very the often. Why. Yeah,
very often. Yeah. And but sometimes you can think that it could go faster.
Yeah.
To explain what you have to do, how to do it, you are sure that it will be done how you want, but you don't develop the leaders of the future. And I think that you have to, as a leader, you have to be open to accept that you are not the leader that knows everything. And so by working in a team way, in a team spirit, but it works.
So this was your first experience with your manager. You said that. So that is definitely inspiring. So what's next? What happened next?
What happened next? Well, let's say that what is not a leader, but it was someone who inspired me a lot. He is still. He is, and he was a volleyball coach.
Oh, okay.
Very known. Julio Velasco. He was a coach of Italian team. Then he was, he made a huge career in the sport, but he was a philosopher also.
Wow, okay.
And for me, this person is so inspired me because there are a lot of anecdotes on YouTube. I think that you can watch some of them. And he explained how he coached the Italian volleyball team.
Wait, I'm sure I got it. Is this coach?
Yeah, a volleyball coach. How I met him.
The boss at Decathlon or someone?
No. He was. I said before.
Okay.
Before my first boss.
Okay.
It was my first leader or coach that inspired me.
Okay.
And why I want to tell you it, because this inspired all my career after. So this person explained me how he tried to motivate a team that was plenty of good player to be one of the first best volleyball team in the world. So, and it was the period in which Italy became a very strong Italian team for many years. Nation team. Yeah. So he decided to. There is one guy that it was Zorzi, who asked him. He said, "Hey, coach, I want to be the best spiker in the world. The best player in the world." Well, Julio say, "Okay, why not? You can try because you are very talented, but you have to train yourself a lot because you spike very well, but your reception is so, and you are not a good passer." So he said, "I think that you can try. I don't know how long it takes to do it, and maybe you will never arrive, but I'm sure that if you continue to coach yourself or to train yourself or to spike, you will be the best one in the world." So the lesson behind is when you are a leader, you try to combine the best teammates that you can, and you try to develop their strong points. Finally, Zorzi became the best spiker in the world for I think 5, 6, 7 years. And his mission, it was on Julio, try to find the best point of you and develop it. And he said the human body is a perfect machine. When you develop the right side, the left side will be compensated. So never work on the weakness of someone, but work on the strong point, and you will see that the weakness will continue to grow. And why I tell you, because I didn't have all the time leaders that inspire me, but I try to keep the best from them. But sometimes some leaders tell you you are not good, for example, in organization. Okay, plenty of people told me you are not organized. Okay, that's 22 years. Even my wife continued to tell me. But I try to develop my organization, developing my strength.
Okay.
So this is the way in which I manage today. I continue to manage because I learned it in my previous life, but it was more on the sports side. So sorry to inverse your question, but it was important for me to tell you.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. That's great. I love that.
Yeah. So I have Italian coaches. Well, I call it coaches because for me, our coach continue to link it to the sport.
Yeah.
But leaders, I have other leaders that I met during my life. Sometimes that were directly linked to me. Other that make fantastic presentation. But one of the leader that inspired me the most, it was the founder, Michel Leclerc, that I have the chance to meet a few times, and he explained how he developed his passion for the customer, as I told you before. But it was incredible. Even in explanation that is in front of our merchandising, in front of our products, he explained with passion, with love, why a product is conceived, why you have to take care about each customer that is close to you. So I have plenty of, I hope to not forget someone, but I have plenty of leaders that inspire me. So, yeah. So the fantastic also experience that I got is that I have from different nationalities.
Yeah.
So French leader from Spain, Spanish one, Chinese, from Asia. So I have the chance through Decathlon to travel around the world, and so it's fantastic to see the difference of culture and to try to adapt it. And finally here in US, so yeah. It's very, very rich. So and very different.
Okay, so Michel Leclerc is the
Leclerc. Yeah.
Is the one who created Decathlon.
Yeah.
So he's part of the
founder.
The Mias family.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to make mistakes. Okay. So, but no. I can't. No, I don't want to make mistake with dates and so on. But yeah, he founded Decathlon. Okay. And then, in 76, as I told you, so a long time ago in Anglo, the first stores, and then his passion his dream was to have, I think, 10 stores.
Wow.
At that moment, he has a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was so inspiring because he was, not 1 year or 2 years in advance, but at least 10 years in advance. So each time he's predicting what is the next step. And this, I didn't met a lot of people as him, but it's incredible. This is something that the leadership should have, is to have a very, very long-term view, to try to predict the future. Well, we have plenty of a good example in the world, but for me, the one that I touch almost, or I discuss with Michel Leclerc, was inspiring each time that he spoke.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to go back to your own journey. So you told me about different great leaders that you met during your experience at Decathlon. But so from sales assistant to manager, or even you were a store manager.
Yeah.
So what was the path to that?
So I started as a sales assistant, as I told you, and the path, it was, I tried to learn. Okay, so you have different skills that you should have. We call it skills and behaviors. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we have always in Decathlon a culture to promote the people as much as we can and to develop the competencies. So Ezio, he started to work with me. He saw something in me. I don't know what, but he was good. He saw some talents that I have, and he decided to work with me to develop it. So training, coach. So we have a must in Decathlon. We have individual interview with your teammates each month. So we have a follow-up in which we see your progress, your achievement that you should have, and we work on a training plan. We work on objective that we have to realize, and so step by step. But when you achieve a level, you can aspire to be responsible. So I moved to department manager first, and then department manager to duty manager, and then a store manager. So it was the career that I developed, and I acquired competencies from, as I told you, I was in the engineer part, and I have to learn how to sell, how to do merchandising, how to receive boxes from the warehouse. But it was fantastic because now what I learned is still with me. Yeah. So I brought with me this experience during my career. So yeah, from sales assistant to store manager, it was already, for me, it was a big dream. A little bit, as I told you of Michel, for me, I say, well, if I will become a store manager, I will be happy. Well, the life bring me to other horizons.
Yeah. Is Mama happy?
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, I can't say the opposite.
That's good.
So now I know that you will ask me how I can move from Italy to France, right?
Yeah, but before that, what was your first experience as a manager, and what did you learn? I mean, what are some of the skills that you had to learn? Because I understand that you have this process where you learn the skills and you demonstrate behavior, and what was the trigger that brought you to the next level and start working with leading others? Yeah. And what did you learn, or what were the mistakes you did as well?
Okay. So what I learned is that at the beginning I have only one teammate, only one.
Okay.
And I should recruit 2 more because basically in that moment there was a lot of excitement, a lot of turnover, and so I have to recruit. The first mistake I did, I recruit badly.
Yeah.
So
it's common.
Yes, and I think that's one of the first things that you have to learn is to recruit. And there has another manager that I have in my mind that is coming back, Franco Banfi, that I met after, a great leader. He told me, recruit stronger than you. So I tried, but I failed. at the beginning. And the second thing that I learned is, as I told you at the beginning of the exchange that we have, the great exchange that we have, is to try to explain the why I was absolutely not doing it.
Okay.
No, absolutely. I was saying, okay, you have to do it. We have to do it. No, I use the we, but most of the time I was trying to do it. Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah, please do it, or we have to do it. But so it was, to be honest, it was tougher at the beginning. It was not easy. So, but if you have a good leader that explains you, or you try to understand from your mistakes, but you can continue to grow and change. So it was the first part that I learned. So recruit for sure, and then explain the why.
So how do you recruit now? What are some of the things?
I continue to make mistakes.
Yeah, sure.
No, I recruit with this vision all the time. So recruit stronger than me. So when I see someone in front of me, I say, hey, first of all, can this person be my manager in the future? So I try to project. First of all, I try to see if this person fit to the value of the company for sure, and how this person could be happy in the company each day. Because I continue to say that 22 years, as I told you, almost 23, but each morning I have the smile to go to work, even if it's tough, if it's sometimes you have a problem, but I am so happy to go to work each day. So I try to recruit in this way.
Yeah.
It's really more than the competencies. You try to see this fit. For sure, the competencies is a base. It's compulsory to do. But again, it's more a fit. And I can add it, following the example that I told you about Julio Velasco. It should fit in the team. If it doesn't fit the team, you can recruit the best one that you want. If it doesn't fit, if he's not a team player, it will be more complex to reach the ambitions that you have.
How do you assess that during the interview process?
I know my team because you have a team, so you know who you have. You know what could fit or not, because the important is to try to understand the person that you have as much as you can, to enter a little bit in the intimacy of the people. So you try to see if the value, if the attitude works, fit. Sometimes if it's an important recruitment, you can also ask to your teammates, to your team, to have an advice. Okay, it happens. It happens to me a few weeks ago. Yeah, and it works very well. So, but your team co-opt the person that arrive in your team. So it's fantastic. Sometimes it's not so difficult to do. It's just to invite, to have a presentation or something, or just doing sport together. You will see.
You do sports together during the interview process?
It could happen, yeah. For some, it happens. Cool. Yeah. We decided to propose. It's a small sport, small session, but you do, especially when you do group session, you can do some games with the people, and you will see. You will see the leader. You will see the people that is a little bit more strategical. Yeah. So we have some technique, but this we learn it also.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Do you have an example of questions you ask to assess whether this person is a fit in your team? I mean,
it really depends on the interview. It depends on how it's going. But no, I don't. It's changed all the time. Okay. So it depends how it's going. So as we are doing today, so we didn't prepare. We discussed. But it's how I think that the recruitment should do. So sometimes it's technical one. Yeah, I'm not on the technical part, except if this should be done. Otherwise, it's very to discuss and to see, to feel to the person. You see the eyes, the people, how is his posture, if he's open and so on. So it's more technical of.
Okay. Yeah. And what about the value? I mean, the fit in the team, I guess you can get a sense based on what you said, but how do you assess for the fit for the values of the company, for the fit for a company?
But first of all, you can ask to the person how he imagines Decathlon, how he can see Decathlon. But Decathlon is a fantastic company, a fantastic brand, because as I told you, I still be there. So I love this company. But there are plenty of other amazing company in the world, especially in the sports. I don't want to mention, okay, but you can imagine one, some. But we have different positioning, different way to approach the sports or the culture of the sports. For us, it's particular. So again, as I told you, we don't want to do the sports, the elitist sports, but it's the sports for everyone, no matter what is your level and so on. We want that the people make sports. So we try to understand on the question that we ask the person what he think. But if this one is exactly he's in line with this strategy or not.
Okay.
Sometimes we make mistake.
That always happens.
It's not perfect.
I think there's something I've learned when I joined Amazon, when I started to interview candidates for Amazon. So we have our leadership principles that are, expressing the value of the company, but also the way we operate. And I like to say that those are not words on the wall. They are really something that we embrace and we do every day. And the way we interview people is that we ask what we call behavioral questions. So basically we ask people, okay, tell me about a time when you did something like this, so through a leadership principle, we want the candidate to tell us a story about what they have done in the past. That gives us a sense of, okay, do you think that they have the depth of experience that we're looking for this particular role? Do they have the right scope as well? And also, do we believe that they operate in a way that is aligned to the way we want employees to operate and that are our values? So
sure, but is a little it depends on again how is going an interview with a person. But we have a value, we have a purpose that we want to check if it's in line. We have a responsibility that is a big value for us. So I say I do. If I make a mistake, I say. And we drive you through some question also to see if the person in a difficult situation, he will be transparent, he will be responsible, take the risk at the same time. Say, if I make a mistake, I will say, I made a mistake, I need help. There is no judgment. But so we drive you some question to see. We see also if the person want to be in line with, let's say the purpose of the company that is very humble. So sometimes I say, where you see you in 10 years? So people say, what? In 10 years, where do you see you?
To answer this question.
I know, I hate it, and all the time.
That's why you ask it.
Because I know that it's horrible. But you see, because some people, they can tell you, I will see me in this place. I would like to be manager, but there is no substances on the back. So you say, let's dig a little bit more. Or a person say, I want to live in Highland in 10 years. Okay, it's true. He will tell you the truth, maybe. So it depends. Really, it's we have plenty of question, but it's not me. I don't prepare in advance the question. I try to understand the profile. Normally in Decathlon, we do 3 at least interview sessions at least, and because we can have a free advice. So it depends on, and each of us try to see a different aspect. Okay, so even me, when I recruit someone, I ask 2 other people to see it, to give me feedback all the time.
Good. So moving forward, you were a first line manager, as we call that.
Store manager.
First line was team lead, right?
It was department manager.
Yeah. So how do you tell us, how did you move to a manager of manager type of position? Leader of leader.
How?
Yeah. And and how
we have to ask to my regional manager because
it was you were nominated. Okay,
but no, it's a joke. But I think that again, as in a team, at one moment you have a different player, and you as a coach, you see that there is a captain that you can give him the C, and you say, this guy has something more. He can drive the others. He can be the one that inspires. So at that moment, Ezio saw in me some talents, and he proposed to his manager, say, hey, this guy could be potential, be the same as me in the store. So I think that I showed the capacity to be a good department manager, so skills, behaviors, and then also to take more responsibility. So in Decathlon, we have an annual review, as in plenty of companies, and we try to do what we call so who, what, who. So as a particular way in which we work, and so we try, for example, to say, okay, Roman is doing this job very well, where we can see him in 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, and we try to see what are the axes that he has to work to achieve it. So we put human plan basically, and at the same time the what who. So when we have in a countries or in a department some needs, for example, I need a country CEO or I need a COO, we try to say, okay, who can fit this one? So we have a huge database, and I was validated as we use inside as name to be store manager. So I jump to another level, and so I take this store. It was the store where I start. Okay. Incredible story.
Yeah. So how do you lead other leaders at that time? I mean, how do you learn? Because, you give purpose to your teammates so they can achieve. That's you give the why, and they operate, and hopefully they are able to find their way to get to the goal. But how do you do that at scale with different leaders under you?
So it was funny because when, as I just said to you, I took the responsibility of the store where I start. Yeah. So sometimes it was my colleague. I became a leader of their or some colleagues. So it was, wow, my God, how I can handle it. People that were older than me. So I was very young. I was 26 years old. So it was scary sometimes. But I say, okay, I try to be as I am. So to try to do the maximum that I can. And the first thing that we did, you will laugh, but we did a sport together.
Okay.
First thing that we did. We go for outside. We did a sport together. We play soccer at that moment. And at the end, I proposed to all of them to say, okay, we try to write the project of the store. So when we write a project, it was to say, okay, where we want to bring this store, not far away because it's a store, but what we want to create as a project around the store. So for the customer, for the employee, how we can see the vision, the expansion of the stores. Maybe we have to extend it and so on. So we work on a project, and then at the end they say, okay, each of us has to take a responsibility inside, and we co-work together. Mm-hmm. So the first thing that I did is this one. It was something that was not very common at that moment in Decathlon Italy at that moment, but we launched it, and it was, I think, one of the key success because the people will be in movement, and they say, okay, this guy want to play with me. And the second thing is linked to that point. I never be a coach, but I was a posture as a captain in the field. So the captain play and inspire the others, but he's making mistake. He's making wrong pass. And when he needs help, he asks to his teammates to help him. So this is the posture that I have. and the store achieve incredible results. So this is why after they asked me to move to a bigger store, bigger project, and I moved to a bigger one.
This one in France?
No, in Italy. Always in Italy. Yeah. Retail was in Italy. No. France is another story.
Okay. So I like the fact that you put together a plan all together, and everyone took responsibility. So they are all skins in the game, as we say.
There is no one on the bench.
Yeah, no one on the bench.
No one. So the leaders and also the teammates. So it was really a common project. So again, it's very particular in my management, but also in Decathlon, is that we try to involve the maximum people because the team is the force. Yeah. So it was the key of success also in plenty of occasions. And it doesn't work. Same, but it's we have a more positive example than a negative one, or difficult one.
But how did you come up with this idea? I mean, there was part of the training that you did, so the skills and behavior that the skill training that you had got to go through, and that was something that was already planned for Decathlon to adopt. It's part of the culture. So you embraced the culture and applied the recipe, or was it an experiment from your side, saying, okay, this is how we are going to do it, let's try?
Well, it started to be a recipe, but it was something that I believe a lot.
Okay.
So it was not common everywhere, as I told you. I didn't know what was happening in France. I was speaking about my small region and so on. But no, it was something that I think it was important. You know, as when you go to the university in engineer, we have a project, a long-term project, and we try to play all together to try to find the right recipe. You fight of it, but it was a little bit the same. And so this is how we work, how we try to do. Now is more common. Okay, let's say that is a basic as we use for the. Sometimes we forgot to do it, but the first part is write a project, ambitious one, is what I'm doing now.
Okay. And you don't do that alone. You do
Absolutely.
that with others. So
how
deep
team.
Do you go?
All the team.
The full team?
Yeah, full team or store.
So you go and say, okay,
outside,
guys, today we work all together and we write this plan.
We closed the store. I think that it was around 7 o'clock. We closed the store. We went outside for the first session. So sports, we just put the first part of the project. That it was the poster of the team, the first one, how we work on it. And then we started to define some other workshop to define the priorities on the commerce, on the customer and so on. And then we, for each of the teammates that want to be participant of some particular scope or things to do. So people say, me, I'm interested on the commerce. Okay, I work on it. So they work by groups, by workshop. Then we recombine, and we have 4 or 5 sections. I think, I don't remember. It's a long time ago, but imagine let's say 4 sessions, and then we combine everything and we arrive to the final project.
Okay. So
final, not final.
Yeah,
as you know, final is never exist. So let's say the starting point of the project.
Okay, let's dive deeper a bit. So you have you identify some pillars, so some big areas, work streams that are important for you to work on. That should be the pillars of your documents. Then you self-organize, and people say, "Hey, I want to be in that team. I want to be in that work stream, and I want to contribute this in there." So you put everything together. How do you make sure it's the? I mean, is there a vote? Is there? Or as the store manager, you say yes, I approve, or you just say, "Okay, let's do it."
No,
how does it work?
No, because if the group is moving in this direction and they are convinced on something, you have to let them do it. For sure, it should be aligned with the project and the vision of that you have. let's say, for example, I don't know, on the store, there was a vision to say, okay, we will take 30% of the market share on the catchment area. Okay, this one, it was one direction that we have, and it was on the catchment area. If something was outside the catchment area, it was out of the frame. Okay, so if we stay in the frame, it's okay. You can propose.
Okay,
we try, we measure, we adapt, or we stop.
Okay,
we continue.
So if I rewind, so you set the vision first.
We set the vision. Yeah.
You set the vision with your leaders or with everyone?
With everyone.
So everyone, agrees on, this is the big vision.
Playing field. Yeah.
Okay. And then we self-organize how we get there.
Exactly. And then we have a roadmap.
How do you, so
roadmap, KPI.
Before the roadmap, how do you define that vision all together? Because I wonder, you are probably 50 or more in some stores. How do you get everyone to say, that's the goal that we want to go for?
But we have technique of workshop.
Yeah. Tell me about that. Tell me about that. I want to know how you do that.
You have to prepare it. So by making some analysis in the front. So for example, on the Rescaldina store, we started to analyze where the customer arrived, the data that we have. We try to see, let's see, for example, how many clubs we have, what are the customer come from, and so on. So we try to have some data.
Okay.
Then we have a corporate vision, make the sports accessible to the many. Even it's a little bit modified in the last year, but it's always a little bit around it. So we have the vision of the company. We have the status, the data, and so on. And we try to see, how our store can contribute to the common vision.
Okay.
And yes, there is some technique of workshop. You try to say, how you can see a store, for example. Is a store a physical place? Is a community place? Is a place where you can interact and so on? So you try to ask questions in advance. You prepare, you make the people discuss between them, and then you combine the ideas, and you will see that you arrive to a common vision.
But then you vote, or you?
Yeah, we vote. We say, we can. It could be a vote, or you can say, you agree with this wording. You will see some comments. You remove. You play with colors and so on. You try to underline how many people vote for 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, and step by step you arrive to the vision that the team have. Sometimes, sometimes, many times, I start with an idea, and it was not the final one.
Okay.
Many times, I can tell you, maybe 90% of the time. So you refine something that you want to, or you have already in mind, because it's logic. But plenty of time, it arrives something that is new. You say, "Wow, this idea is great.
Okay,
take it."
So you are kind of an MC. You have a big group. You
it's
say,
nice. I never say. See.
No, you are a facilitator. That's what I meant. In the sense that you ask the question, you ask the feedback, you write it down, but you are not necessarily pushing for your ideas, which is quite difficult for a leader.
Yes.
Because in many, I think it's common that people would expect from a leader to lead, and meaning that they have the big vision, they have this is where we go. That's the Steve Jobs, for example. That's This is the goal. We go there, and there is no discussion about it, and we go there. But you have a different mindset or different process.
Yeah.
You work as a team. Say, where do we go, guys? And and you ask. So you have your techniques. Where do we learn those techniques?
But by trainings, by your experience, so you improve. And to be honest, sometimes at the beginning, I ask the help of external people that are experienced to do it. Okay. So people that prepare workshop. So they ask you just where you want to go, and they prepare you everything. So it's quite easy. When you have an MC, external MC, it's quite easy also. Yeah. So you can observe, you can see what happens. This is also cultural. So it's not only me. In Decathlon, we work on it. The vision of the company, the last one, it was made by, I think, with 50,000 people involved in Decathlon vision. So more than the half of the people participate in a different way. So it's more complex, but it's ideas that came from everywhere in the world. And I think that it's important to do it, because you can, as a leader, you can give a direction, but the important is that the leader listen and observe what happens on the field.
Yeah.
And so your eyes, your hands sometimes, because for sure you are inspired by many things that you have to do, but it's the team that is close to the customer. So you have to involve the people. Otherwise you take the wrong decision.
That's the spirit of Amazon as well. We do it this way. I mean, that's why we try to keep organization flat, as we say. And and also, I mean, the people who are in front of customers are the one who know best the customer needs and
Completely.
so on. So there's a lot of that also in the way we build products. It's not, they are rarely top-down decisions that are made. It's more, okay, everyone, I mean, we call that process OP1, so operational process. And so we are in it right now. So basically each team is explaining what we are going to do. And then we roll up.
Exactly.
And we say, okay, this is what we are going to do at this org level and this department level and so on.
Same, we work on user stories.
Yeah.
And we try to understand what are the ones, and then we pick. For sure we can't do everything, okay? But sometimes the user story are similar and between different countries and so on. So we try to combine it and then to define a roadmap. So you know that I'm moving to France. I'm working on a new project for the company, and I'm working on the project exactly as I am explaining to you. So we made a workshop with 70 people, the first one. Now we are more than 250. And then we expand it step by step to arrive to end of June to have the final project of my new job.
So I have a question. Well, I have many questions, but because that's a very interesting topic, and I'm going to discuss a very similar topic with a CEO of a tech company here in the Bay. They have a pretty similar approach. What I'm interested in is how do you empower people to feel that they can do this? Because I mean, you, Franco, you are the COO in the US, so you are pretty high in the food chain, as we say. Okay. So when you say something, there's some weight behind that.
Sure.
And it's sometimes it's going to influence others because they say, oh, he's the boss. And specifically in certain cultures.
You're right.
I mean, in Latin America or in Asia, in many countries in Asia, and you have been in China for a long time. So, I mean, how do you empower your teams to voice their opinions and they don't have to follow what you say? Yeah, I mean, ultimately you may want to do that, but how do you? Because there will be a natural tendency for those people to, even in Europe, I would say, it's
everywhere.
Naturally everywhere. That okay, you are the VP, you are the director, you are whatever. So you tend to comply to what the management is saying or leadership is saying. So how do you empower people?
First of all, you don't have to, when the project is clear, the direction is clear, you ask the people to, is culture now in the company is to take the risk. Take the risk and not judge the person. So the people is not afraid to take risk. Is really culture in Decathlon. So, okay, you believe in it, is in the frame, do it. And you as a leader, you have to verify a few things. First of all, that he's not out of the playing field. Second one, that he has the capability to win and not to give to a person something that he will never achieve. Or if you feel that this person will be difficult to achieve a project, you have to find the ecosystem around this person to help. Exactly. And give confidence. And give confidence will be, first of all, you as leader, be present all the time that he needs. So, sometimes you say, your agenda is impossible to find a space. I say, no, my agenda is always flexible. So I try to be available for the team, because it's the way in which you can continue to motivate. And we come back to the first part that we discussed together. You continue to explain the why is important to do, empower the people. I think it's how we try to do.
Yeah. How do you refrain yourself from pushing for ideas? Because I guess whenever you have, you have this mighty vision there, you want to get there. I mean, you are an engineer by trade, and we have a strong tendency of being problem solvers.
Completely.
So you have a vision, you have certainly your own ideas on how you get there. So what do you do with those ideas?
I try to keep for me.
Okay.
No, it's a very good question, Norman. It's not easy. Sometimes, as I told you, as leader, we have to recognize that we made a lot of mistakes, and it happens all the time. Even today, I think that I give an idea, but more than an idea, it wasn't how. So I try all the time that I enter in a meeting or I discuss with a person to try to listen first, and then to try to ask a question to try to help the people. I can give you a suggestion, but it was never a mandate or never something that is strict and action that he has to follow. No, I try to contain the engineer problem-solving attitude that we can have by try to, okay, let's listen first. Let's try to digest it. Ask a question to the person. When you see that the person maybe ask you an idea, okay, you can give 1, 2, 3 tips, but you let the person not, you didn't give all the recipe. You try to make the people understanding. So you can give some tips to the person, and then he's try to have an idea. For sure, as a leader, sometimes I have idea, I share. I share with my group of people, so I don't want to say that everything is coming from the collectivity. So sometimes I share some ideas, some conviction, and the good things that happens is that in my team is always open to the discussion, so they challenge you, and this is great. So it's not top to down, but it's okay. I thought about it. What do you think? You have to be receptive to have sometimes feedback that are not what you expect. So I try to do it, but it happens that you give the direction. It is also the responsibility of a leader sometimes to do it.
Yeah. There's one leadership principle that we have at Amazon, which is called have backbone, disagree, and commit. But I think it works everywhere, as in you as a manager, if someone says, no, I believe we should do it this way, there's if you have done your homework or your checks, as you explained earlier, the fact that it's within the playing field, you believe that the people will be able to deliver it. It's not what you thought immediately. It's not your preferred idea maybe, but since there's a group pushing for it and coming with it, you are ready to commit.
Exactly.
And by commit, meaning that in 1 month from now, if something fails, you are not saying, "Oh, I told you so. We should have done this."
No, absolutely.
That's tough.
Absolutely. When you start, you stamp also the decision that is not yours. So as a leader, you defend it.
But then it becomes yours.
But sure, sure, completely. That is not yours or the other one. No. It's the group. So we fail, and then we restart together.
Yeah.
Or we win and we restart again.
So I guess this is covering the inclusive leadership that that Decathlon talk about, and how you
a little bit.
Yeah. And I like what you said also about the fact that your company is very international. So you are bringing, I mean, it looks like people are moving a lot within the company.
Yes. I am the case.
Yeah.
The use case.
But people around you also are moving to different places, and not necessarily, I mean, they are not following you. I mean,
no. Sometimes yes. Yeah. Sometimes we follow. Or I follow them, depends. There is in a different direction. But no, we move. Is what I told you is so international. So many opportunities that also the people can explore different part of the company. This is something also interesting that we have. You can move from a commercial sector to production to explore new horizon and also to develop yourself and to bring also different angle in different business unit.
Yeah.
So we I didn't tell you, but when I was absolutely not convinced to move from Italy, and my manager, my leader at that moment said, "But why you don't want to work for one of your favorite sports, that is the volleyball? Try it." I say, "What? Yeah, why you don't want to conceive products for the volleyball?" I say, "Bah, it could be cool." I say, "Yeah, I could. Yeah, but you have to go to France." I say, "Oh my God."
North of France.
They didn't. So at that moment, I didn't speak absolutely French. So he told me, "You have to go to Lilla in Italian."
Oh, yeah. Lilla.
Yeah, but I was not so smart. I understood the Lyon. So so I was thinking for a few days that the destination was Lyon. No, I went to Lille. Yeah, in the north, but it was amazing. Yeah, an incredible experience. 7 years. I stayed there. Yeah. So new life. I left Italy, left my mom, I left my family. I went there. I discovered another job, but it was more linked to the engineer part because it was a conceive products for volleyball, so research, development, innovation.
So were you a product manager?
Product manager, yeah, for the volleyball for a period, and then I changed jobs. I progress, and then so it was an amazing experience too. So 7 years in France. I moved to China, as you told me, as you resume perfectly. 5 years, not 7.
Okay,
but it was an amazing experience. Other culture, and then US.
Yeah. So you need to change your LinkedIn.
Yeah, well, don't worry. I respect the time that we have together, so I will not do now, but I will do just right after. Thanks to notice it.
That's what I do.
Oh.
All right. There is something that you call advice process.
What is it, advice process? What do you imagine?
I watched the video.
It's not right.
It's online, so I said, okay. But when you explain what it is,
I
find that interesting.
Advice process is it's very common in our company, and the idea is that when you have to take a decision or when you want to go in a direction in a project and so on, you ask what we call advice process to different referent in the company. Let's say, for example, I want to open a store in this location. You ask some expert to give you an advice, okay? And it's important because you don't feel alone.
Yeah.
And you are not, I said, a Superman, but you know everything. So you ask to different people to give you an advice, and giving the advice, but you feel more comfortable and solid to take a decision. So it's very common. I just apply it this morning. So we use regularly. The advice process, it could be internally, but not only internal.
Okay.
It could be also external. Okay, so you try to have some information because, again, we should be open, okay, not close. And this is this is something that is very important for us to work on. So we have a advice process in this way. We have a board meeting that is very clear, very common in many companies. But we have many stages of the company, even not on the top, but in different BU, we have a board meeting or committee that are advisor for the job that you are doing. So yeah, it's worked very well. And then it's linked also to other company that you have your leader, but you have also coach or an inspirational person. I have. So I have my leader, but I have other inspirational people which I can discuss that are internal or external again, that can give you direction and so on.
What's the background of those people? Are they former sportsmen or women, or are they more coming from the industry, or?
It's really depends. So each person can choose. The coach could change also.
Okay.
Sometimes when the coach is not able to give to the person more, but he has to change. So I am coach of some people, but I change because at one moment we discover that I gave to this person the maximum, and I can't continue to make this person progress, or I am not anymore adapted. So they change. The background is different. It could be again internal, coming from retail or so on, but sometimes he's a person that you can have a fantastic feeling that understand you very well. It's not a referent, it's not an expert, okay? But it's someone that help you to develop yourself. For example, I discuss with this coach on some problem that I have with maybe some teammates, how I can solve it, or I don't arrive to understand this strategy, how I can approach it in a different way, or I have to solve this problem, how I can do it. I ask to give me a feedback on how I handle some problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it's tough.
Yeah.
You get some feedback. Say, wow, you don't sleep very well tonight.
What do I do with that?
Yeah, what I do, I change the coach. No. So, but it's important to choose the right coach. Okay. Yeah. Not the person that give you sometimes.
Do you get to choose? I mean, you have a panel of coaches. You say, okay, I want this guy. How does it work?
Is your experience? Sometimes you ask to your leader or manager to have some feedback or some ideas. Sometimes I go outside.
But do you have a process to hire someone that can help you, or do you have to do it on your own? I mean, are you?
No, we have a follow up with HR or with your leader. You ask, say, I would like to develop this one. So I ask to an external people because we don't find the right person internally, or is internal is much more easier.
Yeah,
because. Sometimes you do a presentation to some people. It happens that you find a coach. It was my first one.
Okay.
I did a presentation to a public of different people, and this person inspired me so much. I say, well, I go to see at the end. I say, do you want to be my coach? I say, whoa. And we didn't know each other, and we started to work together, and he was coaching me for 6 years.
Wow.
And then it happens. He tell me, okay, now is enough. You have to change. The problem that you have to solve is different. I can't continue to be your coach, and it's changes this. Yeah.
So it took you 6 years to fix a problem?
No. I didn't fix yet. No. But each time you have different problematic for sure. So, but it's important to have this role. So I do the same for some people.
Okay, good. Okay.
You have in Amazon? No.
We have coaches. We have a mentoring program.
Okay.
So basically we have a tool. You go online, you go and say, okay, I need a coach on this.
Okay.
And you would get a list of potential mentors that you can approach. And what is cool is that it's all across Amazon. It's not only,
cool.
I work for AWS for the cloud parts. So it's not only that. I mean, it's Amazon wide. So I get to talk to
everywhere.
Same, everyone. And that's really powerful. And And what is cool also is that, our leadership, one of our leadership principles is hire and develop the best. And develop the best is part of mentoring others and get mentors as well. And people are super, I was a bit not concerned, but I wonder how people will approach me and say, hey, if I approach them and say, hey, I need a mentor. Could you be my mentor? And say, yeah, sure, let's do it. I mean, they're super open-minded and ready to help. So that's really cool. That makes the life easier. So everyone listening, you should get a mentor. It's super useful. It took me some time to realize that.
I think that as a leader, you have to build your network between mentor, as you said, referent people that help you. And one thing that I didn't told you, but before choosing the coach, this is how I do. And so when someone asks me to be coach, I will ask him what is his expectation. Okay, and we try to see if it works, if it fits. Sometimes it didn't fit. I say I am not the right person. So this is something that we do. We try to write an A4, simple A4. Simple depends. With the expectation.
So A4 is one page.
Basically. Yeah, one page. Right. Yeah,
in one the US, page. It's not
you are
A4.
right. It's also is how we use to call it
the size of the paper.
The size of the paper
sheet.
Yeah. So the shorter one, but try to be concise and to say, okay, we write where we want to go together, and this is my expectation. Are you available to do it? And it's a sort of contract.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So this is, I suggest to everyone to do it, because otherwise after 2 or 3 sessions, we are not aligned, or so it doesn't work. We lose time.
Yeah. Okay. What is the performance equation? L'équation de la performance. Performance equation.
No, I hear, but so there is a training on how you measure your performance. Okay, we are still working on it. Okay, all the time to update. But the most important is for a person to feel confidence and to be, as you say, motivated to realize something. You should also to measure your performance. Okay, so yes, the project is important. The capacity, the behavior, but also to see how we measure the performances on a person is very important. They could have qualitative or quantitative KPI. So this is important. It's not only revenue, growth. But there are other things to achieve. So we measure the performance of the team. Okay. So basically during, as I told you, interview that we do each month, and then we have an annual review and mid-year review in which we see where we are in terms of performance or measured of the performances that we have. Okay. So I think that is a classic, but we call in different ways, so don't be scared.
Yeah, but what I saw on one of the videos is a nice diagram where you have it's like you have 2 axes, and then you have on the top. It's a curve, and at the top right you have the mission, and then you have stairs, kind of stairs with different milestones and checks, and that you have
checkpoint,
checkpoints
that you have,
and you have on the left bottom. Right part, you have the company mission, what we want to do as a company, and on the top you have the individual goals, and then basically that's the intersection of
exactly. They have to converge, as you say. You have a playing field, you have a vision, you have your goal. It should be match on it. We have also measure on the performance linked to your happiness and so on, and your capacity to enjoy. So we see exponential when you achieve some goal, you are more motivated, you accelerated the next step, and so there is a link between the happiness at work and the people that perform the most. It seems to be basic, but it's not as this. So there are different different part on the measure of the performance. So you are ready to work with Decathlon. You know a lot of things.
No, I mean, you know what? I mean, I found that funny, but because based on my discussion with different leaders and also what I'm reading, there are a lot of similarities with companies that are thriving. They have very similar ways of operating and philosophies. So we call them differently.
Yeah,
but there are a lot
quite
of similarities.
Similar,
yeah. That's amazing.
I think that methodology in a different way. Sometimes more you put the accent on some more, let's say, data driven before a more emotional one. But yeah, you refine the same methodology and the same way in which we work with. Yeah. There are some extreme, very different one. I don't want to mention, but there are some companies that I will never work for.
Yeah.
Far from my value and a way to see the life.
So I guess we have covered a lot of good topics. We talk about the way you are inclusive and very inclusive. Actually, it's a more, I don't know how we say that, participative, or people are contributing. Everyone has skin in the game, and they do that. I also think that we discussed. There's something I read about. I have a talent workshop, but basically you told us about those discussion and talking about putting the emphasis on your strength and not on your areas of growth. So
this is very specific to me.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
There are some leaders that work on both. Okay, but it's another way, another style of management. There are good points and so on. Me, I'm very convinced on it. But as I told you, by my previous experience, that it was not absolutely in a retail or in Decathlon. I do believe in it. So yeah, it's a way in which you develop the what we call the talent.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have we try to prepare the Decathlon of tomorrow. So it's, as a leader, you have to prepare the future because you have to give your, let's say, seat or the space to your team. So it's as I told you, Franco Banfi inspired me a lot, and I mentioned him because it was coming from him. He say, recruit stronger than you. So it means that the people that you have in front of you when you do an interview, it could be your boss or your leader in X year. So develop the talent is your first job.
First job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, sports is important for Decathlon, but I feel that, and specifically for you, the way you talk. I mean, what are some of the analogies that you learn from being a sportsman, and how you apply that to the business? I feel that you talk about it in the way you talk about the coach, the Italian coach for the volleyball team, and but what are some of the things that you learned about leadership? Yeah,
but is the sports. I make a parallel with my life, and why I work for Decathlon since a long time. I told you I love the purpose of the company. Make the sports accessible to the many is something that. It's more than a purpose for me. Is a commitment. It's a way to approach it all the time that I go to work. And why? Because the sports, it's a fantastic recipe to meet people, to not feel alone, to travel, to learn languages, to feel better. So when you are stressed and you do a small run or long run, but you feel better. So. But for me, I told you before, my wife sometimes told me, you just selling balloons. Stop to be so angry. You are not saving life. No, I say, no, it's not how I see my job. And I try to explain to all the people that are entering the company or I coach all the time is no, you are doing something. You have a mission. So increase the number of people doing sport to, you see how many kids now are overweight, sitting in front of a screen and not doing sports, or be alone. So this is Michel Leclerc. When I met him the first time, 3 months after that I entered in the company, he explained me this. And this I will never forget. So so the sports teach you a lot of things. I told you before, but coach people, inspire, team play, and so on. The sacrifice, the responsibility. You take on you some responsibility, and then you improve. Is the basis of sport. So I try to do what I learned from the sports, the values of the sports.
Good. Usually I ask my guests how they grow, but I believe that we have covered that in the way that you have many trainings, you have coaches, you have access to. So
and I take a risk sometimes.
And you take risks
without knowing what I'm doing, because when I moved from Italy to France and say, okay, let's do product manager, I say, my God, what is it? Yeah, I try. I was not afraid. And this is another, I think, value of the sports. You try to perform, to improve yourself. This one maybe I didn't tell you, but I believe that is one of my strong skills, or behavior more than skills.
So one of the guests I had previously, Daryl, he gave me an analogy. I didn't check that. I didn't double check whether that was true or not. But I love the story. So he's basically, he told me that I don't know.
I make you
lobsters.
tired. Lobsters, yeah.
Lobsters, they have a shell.
Yeah.
And to be able to grow, they have to go out of their shell and be vulnerable for a while, because they need to build the new shell that will be bigger, so they can get into it.
I think that is true. Huh? You can check, but it's true.
Yeah, I want to trust that story. I want to believe that's the right. But I found that such a great analogy to explain that as a leader, well, even if you are not a people manager, but if you want to grow, you need to be vulnerable and take a risk, as you said, and try. And it's how you learn.
Complete is the way in which you learn. If you don't take a risk, you are a follower.
Yeah.
So you will be never a leader.
Yeah, that's true. So another question I usually ask my guests is there a book that you recommend to someone?
Oh, depends. There are many.
It's about leadership or about something that's not only about leadership. It could be about everything that you want. It's really, if you had the one book to offer to everyone, what would that be?
Oh, is a good question.
Besides Topolino.
No, Topolino. No. Well, I can tell you maybe the last one that I'm reading is a partnership economy. That is the last one that I read. That it was very inspiring for me because I think that it depends on all the time on different part of your life. You read something that inspires you. So I usually read a lot, but this one is very inspiring. It's really the last one that I see that is more updated to the time as a leader, and to see how you have to open the mind and to see how to work in this new environment. Okay, so maybe it's the most adaptive one. There are plenty of others that it's inspiring. There are some on Steve Jobs that that are very inspiring too. So I don't want to give you the one that inspired me the most, because there are plenty of during on my life.
The most recent is
but good. The last one is this one is I think that is very updated. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And last question before I'll let you go.
Oh.
What other leader should I interview? Would you have someone I should, you could introduce me to, actually?
Well, we can. I think that I have a few that they can inspire you inside the company or not. Okay, I have to give you the name now.
You don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to. If you don't have that.
No. I have. No, I told you a few that already in my life. I don't know if I can put you in contact with Michel Leclerc. I can try, but it could be so inspiring, I think.
Would he be able to speak in English?
Yeah. He can speak in English. It's a fantastic person. He can. I think that also with some people here in US that I met that are very, very inspiring. Let's see. I have a couple ideas. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Franco. I had a great time. Can you believe that we spoke for more than 90 minutes already?
No, I didn't check it. Wow.
No, I told you it's going fast. So so good. So hopefully it was interesting also for the audience. But I believe it is.
I hope. I don't know.
A lot.
I try to be transparent and tell you the truth, but thanks, Roman, because you give me emotions. I try to speak with my heart and not.
You're Italian. You speak with your heart,
Yeah. With my hands too.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You can say it. No, thanks a lot. It was amazing. So I love it.
Thank you.
Available for you when you want, and thanks and to all the people that will listen us.
Perfect. Looking forward to the feedback I will get. I will share that with you.
Wow.
Potentially. Okay, thank you, Franco.
Grazie. Ciao.
Ciao. You stayed until the end. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Pay It Forward Society. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and share it with at least 2 people who would benefit from this discussion. Your support helps me reach more people and make a greater impact. You can also help me get discovered by leaving a 5-star rating and a review on your favorite podcast platform. I appreciate your support and look forward to continuing this journey with you. Bye.